Hi guys, I'm Haze. I'm an artist and speed painter from Malaysia, and today we are doing part 1 tutorial of the Imprimatura tutorial. So I'm really excited, but before we start,
subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, like and comment if you have any questions. Follow me in Instagram at HazeLong.
Before we get started, I'd like to talk about what is Imprimatura. So today is not actually an Imprimatura tutorial, it's more of a Grisaille tutorial, but I need to clear some myth first and get that over with. Okay, so there are a few terms that you need to understand. These terms are the underpainting, the Imprimatura, the Grisaille, the Verdaccio, and the Bistre. Okay, I do not know how to pronounce that. But so the first one I like to talk about is the underpainting. Let's not overthink things. An underpainting is an underpainting, which means we have a painting and it's another layer below it. So the simplest method to explain this would be a sunset painting. So a sunset painting is red, orange, and yellow, right? But maybe your sunset has a lot of orange, so your underpainting is done in orange. So now you have an orange underpainting. And what this underpainting does is really simple. It helps your next process, your next step. Now that you have an orange underpainting, painting a gradient of red, orange, and yellow is not as difficult as painting on the canvas of white, because you probably have to do it 2 or 3 times. So it's meant to lighten your workload. So now we have to talk about Imprimatura. Okay, Imprimatura is actually a layer of transparent paint on the canvas. Okay, so for example, you have your sketch on your canvas already. Now you want to stain it a color, okay? Don't use opaque, because once you use an opaque color, all your lines are gone, right? Your sketch is gone, so you have to use a transparent pigment. So usually we use brown or like yellow, or yellow is really transparent, red, orange, but blue is sometimes quite opaque. You will know if your pigment is opaque or transparent by looking at the label. It usually tells you, so study them carefully. And how Imprimatura helps is it only uses one pigment, so it does not clutter or create additional chaos to your painting. There is no black or white, okay? It's just one single color wash all over your canvas, okay? So let's move on to the next term, which is Grisaille. Grisaille is a grayscale painting. It's made of black and white and gray tones in between. So if you paint your Grisaille or your grayscale painting in green instead of black and white, but green and white, you have a Verdaccio, if that's how it's pronounced. It's actually a grayscale system underpainting for skin tone. I personally never use green undertones and then layer my skin tones on top. It's for those painters who like to paint in thin layers. But I myself, I'm a fan of Bistre. So Bistre is the brown version of a Grisaille, but I like to do it without using any white or black. I like to use the same Imprimatura color. This is actually a brown version of a grayscale system, and I feel that this is the best for me because it is warm and it's really easy to paint over it or to change the color or the tones or the values. So I feel that it's a very versatile color for me, so it works for me. And this is why all my underpaintings are in browns. Okay. This step, we are supposed to worry about our drawing, our brushwork, and worrying about tonal values only. Okay, we're trying to fix 3 issues in one session. So I would suggest for you to actually fix the sketch separately first. Usually I already sketch on my canvas before I even attempt any underpainting, so which is a good thing. You can just sketch on your canvas first and solve that problem first. Don't worry about anything else, okay? So now that you have your sketch, we can move on to our underpainting. For our underpainting, you will need the following tools if you want to paint like my underpainting. You need oil, linseed oil, and you need solvent, which is mineral spirits or turpentine. You will also need a paint. I use transparent red oxide this time. You can use any transparent grays. You can use any color as long as they are transparent. You need a brush, you need paper towel, and you need cotton buds, okay? So now that that's over with, and now we can get started with painting our Imprimatura. Our Bistre, I will just use the same paint with my brush. Maybe I'll add some oil, maybe I'll add some solvent, depending on how much paint I want to go on the canvas. You want as little paint as possible. And so now our goal is just to get the drawing and the tones correct. Don't worry about anything else, okay? We're just gonna paint the dark areas, which are the shadows, okay? So let's just get all the shadows down, yeah? For the next process, we're gonna pull out some highlights. Why pull out? Because we are not using white. We can't use white or black to give contrast in this stage, because if we have black or white, once we paint the color on, it will mix with the white or the black that we have painted before. It will throw off the whole process. It will make you feel really frustrated. So keep this entire layer in one color, which is a transparent color, and just one color. Right now we're just going to remove the color by dipping our tissue into turpentine and wiping off some areas to pull highlights out. Okay, this is how we're gonna get our highlights. Don't worry if it's not gonna be complete white. You don't have to be so anal. This is just a sketch, okay? You can also use cotton buds to pull out highlights in areas that are really tight and small, to do drawings with them. Okay, so it's really simple and easy to do. Once you have done this, we can assess the painting now. Now we have assessed the painting and see if there's anything we want to fix. Okay, so if you see any mistakes, start fixing them. Once we fix the tones, this is a time to think about our brush work. Because the paint is still wet, you can literally use your brush to drag the paint around. And I want you to make sure that your brush work at this stage is pretty. Okay, make sure the directions are pretty, make sure your marks are pretty. If they are ugly now, it's gonna affect your later stage, because we are gonna use this layer as a guide. Please make sure that you have allocated a huge chunk of time before you do this, because I usually finish my painting in one session, which means now that I've done with this Imprimatura Bistre stage, I will actually immediately move on to the coloring stage. And if you have any questions, you can always ask me below. Like my video and subscribe to my channel. Wait for part 2, because part 2 is where I share how to paint over your underpainting. Follow me at Haze on Instagram. Bye and see you next time.